Okay, welcome to the August 11th, 2026 edition of the McKinney Amateur Radio Club. Okay, if everybody please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the club meeting minutes were published in the MARC newsletter, so I need a motion to approve. So moved. I was getting there. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Whiskey 5, Mike Echo Foxtrot. Michael, is that good? Second. You're a 6. Can we allow this? Okay, here I gotta cheat.
Just call him Nikki 6.
Nikki 6. Nikki, boy, that's gonna stick, man, I'm telling you. Alpha Fox 6, Charlie Foxtrot. Nikki 6. Oh, I like that. And he just, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. We have board of director meeting. If you show up, it's gonna be Nikki 6. All right, any discussion on the minutes? All right, all in favor to approve? Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we do have a new member application, Rob Hustwit. Did I get that right? Yeah, my last name is, what's that? Okay, so Rob's from McKinney, a new ham radio operator. So I need a motion to approve letting Rob into the fold. So moved by Ron, WW. It was.
No.
You didn't.
I'll be quiet.
You didn't read the terms and conditions of Ham Club Online, did you? Okay.
Printed in white on a white background. So.
All right, Ron. Whiskey 2, Charlie Bravo India. All right, need a second. Second. Your call. AA6IT. Walt. All right. Any discussion on letting Rob into the fold here? Into the what do we call this?
He pays his dues.
The what?
He pays his dues.
Okay. He pays his dues. He paid his dues. We're good. We got his $24. I mean, we're a cheap club. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of letting him in? Aye. Any opposed? All right. You're one of us.
One of us.
So that interpretive dance that you have to do will be before the presenter, but after the break. Oh, you want to do it now? Okay. Speaking of phenomenal, come on. All right, our youth directors are here. They have a few words they want to say.
Hey, I'm Janice, NZ5W, Rob, NZ5E. Just wanted to give you a little update on our, is it not loud enough, on our first youth event at the Heard Museum for this year was the preschool and homeschool open house, and it was great. We had a huge turnout. They had 350 people registered before the event, and then they took walk-ins. So there were hundreds of homeschool and preschool families, adults, kids of all ages. They really had a good time. We set up, you can see, and I tried to take a picture. It's not very flattering, unfortunately, without any recognizable children in it, just so you could see we did have our setup. We had the Go Box and lots of interest in the flyers, and we had a CW station, which was fantastic. And thank you, Scott, for coming up with the idea of just having them do SOS. We had sometimes so many kids at a time that there was a backlog, so that was just about the right amount of time, and some of the kids were so interested. One mom told me her son was already interested in the Titanic and trying to teach himself Morse code, like using a flashlight. Like, he was so into it. So they were looking at the gear and, here's how you can get involved, and we gave out lots and lots of flyers. We had Martin the Fox was going, telling jokes and doing more CW so they could hear that. We didn't really get too many. It was not a get on the air situation. We got a couple kids on the air, but it was, you can tell that's how much space we had, and we were wall to wall, and it was very noisy. So the Get on the Air event is going to be the Elves on the Air, which they are very excited about us doing again this year in December. They could not have been more excited about how that went and the prospect of going forward with it. So we had a lot of outreach, a lot of just talking to the community about that we're a nonprofit and what kind of things we do and what is ham radio and how we do storm spotting, all the things we can participate in. We got some good contacts. The city of McKinney's public library programs director came up and wanted to partner. They said they have after-school programs, so they, for all ages, and she's like very interested in coming up with some kind of introduction to radio. Whatever we come up with, I think they're very open to it. So I definitely want, and I have to cheat on the call signs, want to thank the volunteers. Dick's not here, N5, RKP, Lance, KM6, LMP, Larry, KI5, OEZ, Jerry, KG5, YSD, and Scott, AC5, RF. Thank you to everybody. You guys were fantastic and above and beyond, brought gear that I wouldn't have even thought to bring, and it was a really great event. You got anything?
I think this is the first time that we've actually, besides Elves on the Air, this is our first chance to really have a table at one of their events. We got in a little bit late last year, so they were out of space, but going forward, I think we're just going to continue to try to build this relationship with the herd. In addition to that, we've reached out to Channel 11's weather team. They're a lot of fun. They taught the Skywarn team that some of us attended, and they've got some school kind of programs that are like an hour long. We're going to try to partner with them and do kind of a Skywarn and Intro to Ham Radio course. Maybe we could even use the herd for that. We've got some things coming up in October for the Scouts. We've got great relationships in the Lone Star District. So there's probably one or two scouting events coming up in October. We're definitely going to need some help with those. So stay tuned for that. But if anyone's interested in helping with any of the youth events that are coming up, please reach out to us either individually through Discord or on the youth channel on Discord. Very good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Rob and Janice. This couple has done an amazing job with our youth program. All right, I'm going to introduce James Frank, our resident CW operator, and I notice he has a really nice shirt on. May the Morse be with you.
That's right.
I like that. All right, James, here you go, sir.
Okay, let me get the bike. Let me roll the bike out first. I don't know. I guess we can leave it like that so you can see it. Anyhow, I have a bunch of equipment here. This is all the equipment that I've mounted on the bike one time or another. Radios, the mounts that I make with a 3D printer so they'll fit on the bike. Anyhow, my call sign when I ride my bike is KW5CW /bike. And this is my radio station on wheels. There's just the handlebar-looking side of it, what I could see when I ride the bike. I got the speaker on the left, in the middle for the phone, which I use as a camera sometimes, and the radio on the right side. And again, several radios could be put on the bike. But you got to admit, this is kind of a nerdy-looking thing, right? I mean, here you got an old man riding a bicycle, okay? I don't know if this is what they call second childhood or not. I don't know. But anyhow, we have fun when we ride it. A little bit about me. I've been riding bikes since age 21, since 1973 when I was 21. So that'll give you an idea of how old I am. I got licensed in 1966. I've been in ham radio for 60 years. Started at age 14. My call signs, WN8ZIQ from Ohio, WA8ZIQ, KC8NZ was the advanced call, KT8D was my extra class call, and I got that 40 years ago. But I got rid of it because it didn't have CW in the call. And now, of course, my call sign, KW5CW. One of the reasons why I got rid of the 2x1 was the K and T always confused a lot of people that I worked. A K and a T, if you put all the bits and dollars together, it comes out to a Y. So they'd say, Y8D, who is that? Okay? Well, just like everybody else when they first get started, I couldn't send as well as I probably can now. Like I said, I've been a CW operator for 40 years. Well, not actually 60 years, but 40 with the extra class call. And again, I've held 5 licenses starting in 1966 at age 14. The novice, you had to know 5 words a minute. The technician, you didn't need to know anything more, but you had to have the novice. The problem with the licenses at that time was that the novice license was only good for 1 year, and it was not renewable. So what do you do if you don't upgrade to the technician, which means you have to take another test, and you didn't do it before your novice license expired? Well, again, you didn't have to take another code test. You just had to apply and take the theory test for the technician. Then the general, that required 13 words a minute. Nowadays, it's no code, which is kind of a good thing. At first, I frowned against it because I'm thinking to myself, you know, I had to do it. Why does everybody else in the world now, they don't have to do it? But then the advanced class license came around, C8NZ was the call. And then KT8D, the extra class required 20 words a minute. If you wanted an extra class, you had to be able to send and receive at 20 words a minute. And you take the code test first, and if you pass that, then you could take the theory. A little bit about the bike, about me on bicycles. I've been riding since age 21, so that's been 53 years now that I've been riding bicycles. I had a big problem when I first started with the bike, because I like riding bikes, but I also like operating a radio. But back then, in the day, no radios were small enough. My first radio was a tube radio. It was heavy, needed a big power supply. There was no way to get that on a bike. And 53 years ago, there were no computers, so there were no programs to make 3D printed parts to put on a bike. There wasn't even, but there was no radio. Well, there was radio, but nothing for a bike. So it made it difficult. But then I did get the bike about 10 years ago, made by a company called Specialized, and this is called the Stump Jumper Comp Alloy 29, which is a 29-inch tire on the bike. It's a dirt bike. But I love riding it. Whenever I get a chance, I'll ride in the neighborhood, I'll ride on a dirt trail, or I'll bring it to a park and do a park activation while I'm riding. I love doing it. I said 10 years old. This one is approximately 15 years old. Manufactured and purchased in 2016. And I'm giving you some dates because I got a lot of memories with radio and bikes and amateur radio. And I wanted to put a CW radio on a bike since 2017. And In 2017, QRP Labs come out with the QCX Classic. It came out in 2017. It's one of the radios here I have on the table in front of me. And then Elecraft came out with the KX1, 2003, 21 years ago. And I have one, and I owned it since 2007, mounted in 2024. This is the KX1. It's a kit put together. Of course, it didn't work when I first put it together. I had to get it fixed. But I did try my best to get it put together. A predecessor to that was this QCX Classic. Put this one together, and it also didn't work. Had to get it fixed. No, operator put together error is what it was. Yeah. But I had that KX1 in 2007, but it took me 17 years before I finally got a mount to get put on a bike to make it work. And the KX1 mount, what did I do with it? Here it is. This is the KX1 mount. The radio and the mount, magnetic, and I put it on the bike, and it works. I also have one for the KX2. The KX2 is a nice radio because it's what they call a shack in a box. It's got a built-in antenna tuner. It's got a battery built into it. Lights up, gives you the frequency. You could tune it. The only thing you got to hook up to it is an antenna and a Morse code key, or a microphone for that matter. But anyhow, the KX2 came out in May of 2016, and that was 10 years ago. And I owned one in 2024. There was an estate sale, and I got a real good deal on it because I couldn't really afford a brand new one. These Elecraft radios are extremely expensive. The other bike radios that I have are the QRP Labs QCX and QMX. Now, they look kind of identical, and I have multiple different radios. This is a QCX, and in my left hand and my right hand is a QMX. Now, they look identical, but they're totally different. They got the same case, which is nice because I can get this radio and replace this radio with this radio, or get this radio and replace it on the bike. This is a single bander. This one here is a 20 through 10. It has 20, 17, 12, 15, and 10 meters on it. It works sideband and CW and sideband, okay? And this radio, which is the other QMX that I have, goes from 80, 60, 40, 30, and 20. So this is a single bander run 20, and both of these have 20 meters on them. So I have backups for 20 meters is what it amounts to. But I'm able to get on by all I have to do is get one of these antennas and quick disconnect, change the antenna, change the radio, and I'm ready to go. Favorite band? My favorite band actually is 40 meters. My very first frequency I've actually operated was 7045 because back in the day I had a crystal. And that's all we had back then. We didn't have, right. And so I parked myself there, and I've been there ever since on 40 meters. And again, I'm on 14045, 28045. If it's got 4 or 5 in it somewhere, you can usually find me if I'm on that band. And as I said here, a friend made a few mounts for me and got me into 3D printing. And I also made one for the Zygu G90. This is the head to the G90 right here. It's just a small head, but this is one of the best QRP solid-state radios you could find, and they're half the cost of an Elecraft. And this right here is the mount to it. This is the mount. And what I do is I have the cable. Cable is right here, and I'll plug it into the radio. And then I'll get the mount, this mount here, and I'll mount it like this. So now there's the radio. I can put that somewhere on the bars on the bike somewhere. And then this I could put on the handlebars to replace this. Okay, those are the radios that I have. And on the top right is the body of the G90, and in front of it is the head unit. In front of that is the key that I use. It's in a box. And then there's the two radios, the Elecraft radios, the KX1 and the KX2. And on the left, little distorted picture on the top, but they're basically the same radio, but the other one on the top is sitting in another 3D printed part. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the QCX Classic, which is a 5-watt radio, I could never mount that on the bike because when you purchase this radio, it didn't come with a case. And finally, I did build a case for it, but it's not sturdy enough for me to put on a bike. And I have so many other radios that's more convenient. With more features, I figured, well, we'll just use those radios instead. The radio on the left, the KX1, it's lit up. It says 45.0. When you turn it on, it gives the megahertz, and then a second or two later, it'll give the kilohertz, like 14.045, for example. And again, on the right side, you'll see 14.045 in digital, the digital display of the KX2. And all these radios are QRP. The KX1, you might be able to squeeze 4 to 5 watts out of it. The KX2, 10 watts. And with an external amplifier that I have for it, I can actually get 100 watts out of this radio. And this is the G90. It's a really, really nice radio. It's got a color screen. It's got a tuner in it that you could turn it, almost tune a ground rod if you wanted to. I swear, you can click it you can clip it onto a fence. Anything metal, you'll tune it. You can actually work stations with the weirdest. I actually clipped it onto a wire holding up a telephone pole, and I was able to make contacts with it. Tuned it. It's crazy. Here are the two radios, the QCX, the single bander on the left. On one band, 14 megahertz, 20 meters. And on the right is the QMX. It's also tuned on 14, but it runs on 4 or 5 other bands. Now, this is the key that I use. It's just a very, very small device, and it's just magnetic. It just clips on the bike. And it's made by a company called Bomatech. And it's not fine mechanic. I don't exactly know how to say it, but it's not fine mechanic. Fine mechanic, I believe. That's how you say it. And it's, again, the maker was a guy by the name of Marcus Basseler, and I believe he's a silent key right now. DL5YYM, and I don't believe you can buy them anymore, but it's one of the best keys out there. It's a magnetic key, kind of expensive, but very well worth the price. This is the antenna mount on the bike. It's just a picture that you can see, and this is the actual part itself. This was bought at a truck stop. It's called Truck Spec. You can buy this mount at a truck stop, and it was very cheap. And it fits perfectly on my bike. So I bought that, and I have another one for maybe, who knows, maybe I'll get another bike someday, maybe an e-bike or something. So this is what the handlebars look like on the inside. Since you're not up here, you can't see it that well. But on the right side, you'll see the key, which is blown up so you can actually see it right below the radio. There's the helmet. I didn't bring the helmet out. It's still sitting on the floor, I believe. If you're going to go nerdy looking, you might as well go all the way, you know. Put this on with the gloves, and I'll be doing that here shortly, riding around. I'll be able to talk to Larry in the back room while I'm riding around in a parking lot here, so you can actually see the contact being made. And so there's the hat with a camera mounted on top of it to make it as nerdy as possible, and the KX1 radio and another mount on the side of that. Okay, something that you might want to know, maybe you're not interested in Morse code, but a lot of people wanted to know what happened to testing, and why don't you have to know Morse code now to get a license? Well, back on Valentine's Day in 1991, that's when the no-code technician came about. Now, what was interesting about that was originally you needed to know 5 words a minute. You had to have your novice ticket to get your technician, but then they got rid of that. You didn't need the novice ticket anymore if all you were interested in was 2 meters or voice communications, and they came out with the no-code license, and that's where it started becoming popular with 2 meters and 440 and so forth. But then eventually, January 1st of 2007, there were no code requirements on HF, and it took effect on, again, January 1st. So that's what happened, and I thought for the longest time that, CW, what's going to happen to it? Because now people don't have to take a test, and so maybe they're not going to want to learn CW. But then came POTA, Parks on the Air. And when that came about, the CW just exploded. It literally did, and more people are interested in CW now than I can ever remember in the past. I don't know why, but now people, because they don't have to take a test, now they're interested in learning CW. And so they can do it at their own leisure. What we're going to do here is a little demonstration. I'm going to send code transmission from the bike here to Larry. Larry has a radio in the back, and I'm just going to send some code to him, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to go out in the parking lot and record a movie as I'm riding around talking to Larry. He's going to be here in the back of the room. I'm going to be out there putting up with the heat. So that's about all I have, I believe. And we can go ahead with a little demonstration and go from there. All right. I'm going to be using the QMX, which is it runs on 80, 40, 30, 20, 80, 60, 40, 30, and 20 is what it runs on. We're going to be on, what are we going to be on, Larry? 20 meters? Okay. No, 036 is Larry's frequency. Now, Larry has a dedicated frequency, so we're going to go on his frequency.
All about Larry.
Should have brought my harmonica. Oh, wait a minute.
I just sent my call, KW5CW/bike. That's what I do when I'm on the bike. I identify as being on the bike, and everybody that calls me back sends /bike. So when I'm riding the bike, There's Larry.
Answering back.
What's his call? I forget. See if he. I sent a QRZ. Who's? Yeah. I just sent him a report.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, so that's what I do. Basically, I just sent a report to Larry. He sent, I don't remember if he sent me a report, but that's what we do. And it's a lot of fun. What do you think, Larry?
James, there's a question from Zoom on what antenna and why.
What antenna?
And why did you choose that one?
Okay, this is a ham stick. And mainly I got this specific one because it's small. You can get a larger stick similar to this one back here. This one here is an 80-meter stick, and this is absolutely the shortest you're going to get for an 80-meter stick. But you see the difference. But you could get the whole series of sticks from 10 through 80 meters that are larger. And I got them because when I ride in the parks, and you go underneath the trees, you don't want to run into the leaves of the trees and the limbs, so you keep it as small as you can.
Do you just pick one before you go out?
Well, what I do is this is one band, and it's just a quick disconnect, and I could go ahead and put another antenna on there.
You don't carry any others with you?
Yeah, right.
Why not a metal? Permanent.
Well, no. I just figure out what band I'm going to operate and just go with that. I'm not going to go in the middle of a park or middle of a trail somewhere and change antennas. I don't want to carry anything more than I have to. A what? Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. I damaged me one time. I never damaged a radio because I made sure I fell underneath a bike to protect the radios. That's what happened. I could only remember me falling one time, though, so I've been lucky. Yeah. What's that? Oh, I have another device. It's located underneath this speaker here. It's called the Pocket. Has anybody heard of the Pocket? It's an AI device which records, and what it does, for example, while I'm talking here, it can actually copy word for word, put it in a file, and that kind of thing. Now, when I'm logging, I'll say, for example, if I was working KI50EZ, okay, I would say KI50EZ 599 Texas, which means he had a 599 report Texas. And then this thing records it, and once it records it, at the end of the activation, I could print out in a printable format of all the calls that I worked, in like a spreadsheet format. AI does all of that. So, what's that? Oh, no, it actually doesn't. I give it a timestamp every time I work somebody. And I could probably, it's easy to figure out once you have a timestamp or two in there when you actually work somebody.
So you have to say all that verbally.
What's that?
You have to say verbally, not Morse code to the device.
Oh, no, I said, no. The device, AI device really can't decode Morse code at this point in time. I haven't found any devices that can actually do that. So I just speak speak it out, and I can record it, and I can have it in a log. So, is there any other questions? What's that? Well, I got wet a few times. What's that? Well, no, I wouldn't ride in a downpour, but in a sprinkle or something like that, I've done that before and got lucky. Because, moisture will get in the radio and corrosion, whatever could happen. But I've been pretty lucky so far. And I haven't been riding the bike as often as I like lately because I got a little bit of weight to lose. But I still do get around, and it helps me lose weight when I'm riding. Yes, sir. Power? Power? Oh, I didn't mention the power. Here's the battery pack here. It's a 12-volt battery pack, and it powers all the radios, and it lasts forever. These QRP radios draw milliwatts in power, so you don't have to worry about running out. They just work. Matter of fact, the man over here, where's he at? He's known as the Ditwit. He runs this same kind of radio, and he's run it on a 9-volt battery. He's actually done a park activation just using a little 9-volt battery. So it doesn't take much to run them. It all depends on how you configure it when you build it. You can configure it for 9 volts, or you can configure it for 12. So, and they're all kits. This is a kit. I got lucky when I built this one. It actually worked. But
How much are those kits?
the radio itself is about $100, and you get to buy the case, which is another $20. And so you could spend $150 in the radio, approximately. But
And if you check, I believe we've got 1 or 2 of the QCXs in the club auction coming up. Ready, built, working.
yeah.
With cases.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if they're QCXs or QMXs or what they are, but the QCXs are obsolete now. They don't make them anymore. They make the QMX to replace them. But the QCX is a single-banded radio, and if somebody wanted a radio for just one band, those would be a good radio to have. But again, they're QRP radios. And the QCX does not have the firmware in it to be able to run sideband. This radio, I can run the sideband. I don't know if I took out yeah, here it is, little microphone that I put in a little case, and I built this microphone, and when I put the radio on USB, the plug for the keyer turns into the microphone jack. And so I unplugged the key and I plugged the microphone into it, and now I could actually make contacts while I'm using the microphone. I don't know if this is going to tune 40 meters with no. What I was going to do is show you a demonstration on sideband. The radios sound really good on sideband. But what I think we're going to do, because we're running a little bit late here already, I want to go ahead and go out and do a little bike ride. And Larry is going to go ahead and work me from here, and you'll hear me talking to him and vice versa. So if you're up for that, I'm going to go out and go outside for a little bit.
A few moments later.
What's gonna happen? There you go. Slow down.
You can't get his call sign out.
Slow his ass down.
There he goes. He's ready for you.
Okay. Can't copy that fast. Where'd he go?
Thanks for calling.
Alright. Don't fall off.
Even if you weren't doing CW while you were writing, that was brave in that heat.
The heat takes more out of you than writing a Bible or Morse code. Morse code to me is like another language. When I hear bits and dollars, as you call them, I hear letters, and then I hear words. And in some cases, I can hear complete sentences. When you're sending at 30 words a minute, you can't sit there and write it out. You got to understand what you're listening to. And it's all a lot of fun to me. Because I got into amateur radio when I did back in the day, I was forced to learn CW. And to be honest with you now, I don't think I would be in the hobby without it. It's just so much fun. So.
All right, thank you, James. Any questions for James? Anything more? All right, awesome. Thank you for doing that. That's the coolest thing I've seen. So.
The nerdiest thing you'll see too.
I don't know.
My age is going to tell me not to do it. The reason why I do it is because somebody told me it couldn't be done.
In my mind, the only dirtier thing would be if your helmet was a Darth Vader.
Yeah. Now, I could have put my helmet on and really looked nerdy, but
Could mount the antenna to your helmet, too.
it's hot.
Have you ever worked another slash bike?
What's that?
Have you ever worked another slash bike?
Oh, yes, yes. I had about 3 or 4 different times. One in Missouri, another one in Nevada, another one I believe it was in Kansas. And it's kind of unusual that I would, when you work another bike to bike, that's really different. But see, when I wear this, I could fit in, see. You can do motorcycles. Hopefully at a later date, maybe sometime next year, the club will have me because I'm going to buy an e-bike and I'm going to put all this stuff on an e-bike and do it all over again with some more different equipment. And then show you how it's done. If you haven't been at this meeting, you can see it all over again.
So do you ever get a ticket from the police on that? Because it seems like driving.
I'm not going to ride on the street.
It's like texting and driving, right?
Texting and driving,
Yeah, right.
right?
Well, no. Now, I do mobile work from the car, but my key is down in between, underneath the console there. Nobody could see what I'm doing. I'm not holding the phone, but I'm making contacts. And CW. This right here, this is an SWR bridge. I didn't point that out, but the radio also has a built-in SWR bridge. And the reason why I have 2 of them is because if you notice, there's not much of a counterpoise on this bike. Okay, so what does that mean? That means you might have a hard time trying to tune it. But you know how, does anybody have an idea why I'm able to tune these antennas on this bike? Well, the frame, this is an add-on piece to the bike, but it's covered, it's mounted here with just a clamp, and there's no metal, and this is a carbon bike. I don't even know if it's not conductive, right? So how could this antenna work? The coax itself. The coax itself, the shield in the coax acts as the counterpoise, and it works. Now, depending on what bands I want to work, say, for example, if I wanted to get on 80, I got to put a little bit longer piece of wire on here, but it will work if I tune it up by a specific length of cable. But that's how I do it. It's either that or you drag a counterpoise behind you.
Question, just think outside the box. You've got cable going down to your gear shifters. Would that work as a counterpoise? You could actually
Well, when you have moving parts that you're using as part of an antenna, it generates noise. So you can't use anything like that.
You could try to mimic what they do for reading antennas, which is to just do a vertically oriented dipole or short dipole.
Yeah. Now, I do things, like I said, I've been a ham for 60 years, and I try to do new things. And what new things could you do in 60 years? You know, I've worked at International Space Station, I've done moon bounce, I've done all that kind of stuff. But what else is there? Well, I have a handheld unit. It's in the car. I didn't bring it out. It's a KH1. And it only has a 4-inch whip, a 4-foot whip, or 3-foot whip. I don't believe it's 3 or 4 foot. And you can actually walk on a trail and make contacts, and you just drag your counterpoise, just walk down, and you can make contacts. Well, somebody said, but that antenna is very compromised. Can't you put a regular-sized antenna on it? Well, there's a B&C connector on the radio. And I'm thinking, well, what if I put a full-size quarter wave on the antenna? Now, how would you do that? A quarter wave on 20 is 16 feet, something like that. Okay, so I got a wire, run it from the radio in my hand, helium balloon. It's up there, holding it up. But now I ran into a problem. The problem is the wind. Okay, so as I'm walking this way, the balloon's going that way, and it just doesn't work. So I've tried it, and I don't own one yet, but I've tried it with a drone. The drone will hold a quarter wave or a half wave antenna. I can get a 20-meter dipole antenna in a vertical configuration, put it up there, and the drone will follow me. It'll stay right up above my head, and I could walk, and I could have a full-sized antenna with a handheld. And I can make contacts on it like crazy. That's the nerd I want to see. Now, if you want to see that someday, I could bring that here and show that to you. But I have to get a drone first, and the drones are expensive, especially to get a drone. You have a drone?
You can borrow Jerry's drone.
But then the other problem with drones is the battery life is only 20 minutes. Okay, so I figured, well, I'll get a drone and I'll buy an extra battery. Batteries are $500. That wasn't worth it for me. So I've been tossing it around. No? I think it was for the specific drone that I was
What wire are you using and how much weight the drone has to be able to support?
the wire is almost nothing. It's a very, very, very light wire.
28 or 30?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, then even, I think the small one that Lance uses for video, I think it's only about 400 total.
said 2 conductor wire, but I said you got a 249 grams.
Yeah, now that's the other thing that I was told, and he just mentioned it, that I could fly the drone, but I can keep the battery with me and run power up to the drone. Okay? And that will lighten up the drone. It could pull up more, right? Maybe I can put up an 80-meter vertical and walk with it. But the problem is, power lines, and it's not practical. But I do it because people tell me it can't be done. And believe me, amateur radio operators could do anything they put their mind to. And
Awesome.
I have fun doing it. And I do it in Morse code, so.
All right, thank you, James. Most awesome, sir. Appreciate you. I don't know how we're going to top that this year. Am I not connected now, Mr. Secretary? There we go. Yeah, I am looking forward to next month's meeting. It'll be bull riding on the air. Lance has volunteered to ride a bull and get on. I'm not going to go any further with that, Lance. I have something in my mind that's not appropriate. Okay. Call for new business. Do we have any new business to bring forward to the club tonight? No? Okay. All right, so don't forget about the nets. We talked about them earlier. Sunday night net at 8 p.m., Simplex net at 8 p.m. on Monday nights. I don't remember any time where we ever had to move from 146.54. Breakfast at IHOP on Saturday, 7 a.m. Orders are taken about 7:30. If you're there at 7:30, you're way late. If you're there at 7, you're probably late. People start showing up at 6 a.m., so that's pretty early, but come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. Sidewalk sale on the last Saturday of the month. That's at the Collin College Library parking lot that way. Just look for the vehicles with the antennas. Okay. What's that? Or a bicycle with the antennas. Board of Directors meeting is this Saturday at Fairview Fire Department's Fire Station number 2. Come hang out with us, see how the board works. And just a reminder, most of us are terming out this year, so there's going to be a lot of positions open for election. When do we elect, David? October? November?
Elections are in November.
November.
You have to appoint a nominating committee this
I will appoint a nominating committee. I have a feeling I know who it's going to be, so. Okay. You want Nicholas as a nominating committee? Nikki Six? Nikki Six. All right, you know what? If you don't show up, I'm going to volunteer you for something. And if you do show up, I'm going to volunteer you for something. All right, so come hang out with us. It's loads of fun. And before we adjourn, do we have time for that interpretive dance? He seems like a really nice guy. Now, I've never watched Breaking Bad before, but a little resemblance to Walter White. So, you are Walter White? You are the danger. I like that. Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn. Oh, geez. Okay. KK5TIM, Tim, as first. Seconded.
KJ5KNY.
KJ5KNY, Daniel. All right. All in favor? Aye. Anybody want to stay longer? All right. Thank you all.